Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Th000 and TBCBM taking place here on Northern Isle. We have Th000 spawning as the red human on the top or right hand side of the map, opening up with your standard Altar of Kings followed by a farm. Meanwhile, TBCBM opening up with a Ziggurat and an Altar of Darkness. Sorry, I missed that Altar of Darkness a second ago. Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat, nothing too big of a surprise. It looks as though a crypt will also be thrown down, and the game is well underway. Undead versus human in this 1v1 matchup. There are multiple gold mines on this map. Resources will be at least somewhat plentiful. It shouldn't turn into long of an economic race limited resource map such as Echo Isle. As well, we've seen how trying to dodge taxes on a map that is limited in resources can really pull you through in the end. Acolyte now making its way back out across the map as well. We are going into a Death Knight. Ziggurat is already out making way for that supply cap, as we should be looking at what's coming up next. Archmage, barracks, arms now being placed down. Nothing too out of the ordinary. This is your pretty much standard build. Excuse me, as I am expecting to see an arcane tower here in just a moment to help try and protect against some skeletal minions and or a wandering Death Knight. Now, with this opening here, I am expecting to see a lot of creeping. There is, on Northern Isle, a straight shot through the entire map, so it is easy and quick to find your opponent. A lot of different walkways in order to do a bit of scouting. Meanwhile, the Acolyte just wandering around here. Perhaps it took out a skeleton. Did it take out a skeleton anywhere along the way? I don't see anything to show that a skeletal minion attack could be in the works. Meanwhile, Acolyte is going to try and make its way back out. Footman going after and changing, pushing through a lot of damage. Let's take a look. Acolyte already down to 52 hit points, as the Footman, I do not believe, will be able to catch up. Able to do a little bit more damage. Let's take a look. Acolyte, one or two more shots should have it come to an end. Meanwhile, this 5-4-4 creep camp will get cleared out by all of these militia. Death Knight wants to make a bit of a move. Footman now needs to back away as well. No purge onto that Footman there. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Ogre Magi will get taken down. There it goes. Deny that water elemental. Do not allow your opponent to get that kill. There it goes, as the Footman now needs to get away. Alright, Death Knight comes in with the Death Coil. Death Knight, well, skeletal minions now making their way back off to the north. Footman, where is it going to run to? It's going to try and hide. Arcane Tower has not been upgraded, so the Footman will end up getting taken down, unable to run fast enough. Meanwhile, the skeletal minions are going to be doubling back around. Footman was lost. 135 gold down the drain there. Death Knight losing or using a bit of mana to finish off, get the killing blow, as we're going to see that Death Knight perhaps venture around a bit too far, or perhaps just try to continue that pressure. We are looking at some militia joining in on the fight, and the Death Knight really wants to punish his opponent while he's trying to tech. You can take a look here. There's the tech to tier 2. Graveyard is already down as well, but the Death Knight really can't stick around in this fight for far too long. The skeletal minions are easily getting picked off. Archmage has double water elementals. Death Knight could try and do a little bit of death coiling as well to try and finish off a unit. There it goes at 105 hit points, and so far doing a great job. Let's take a look. Death Knight finishing off one or two units slowly but surely. Could try and death coil. Yes, does get the experience from the Ogre Magi, but the Archmage does not pick up the claws of attack. Another Footman gets taken out there. Death Knight sitting at level 1, very close to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage, well, with Scroll of the Beast, losing a lot of peasants and units is really hurting now. Skeletal minions could make their way over. You can take a look. A scout tower across over here is not upgraded to that arcane tower as I expected it to be. And these skeletal minions are going to try and dive on in, perhaps get some damage onto militia or peasants. Let's take a look. One more shot should do it, as the militia is able to run away. Damage being dealt back on the other side. Their Footman does want to go after the skeletal minion. Skeletal minion going to turn back around and end up getting a kill. Meanwhile, did we see a peasant kill here? Militia down to 13 hit points as the skeletal minion does get taken down. Death Knight now out, ready to go. Death Knight is going to be able to go after that Footman. Footman could end up getting taken down, and not a good time to wander about. As you can see, the damage is going to get to eaten back up higher. Death Knight, no death coil there. Archmage comes back around. Low hit point Footman gonna go ahead and retreat back, as the army size advantage for Th000 is going to hold him and keep him strong for a little bit longer. Crypt Fiend unable to attack behind enemy lines there. Meanwhile, the Death Knight says, you know what, perhaps I can put some pressure here. Death Knight spots a footman, gonna go ahead and take it down, gets to level 2, and now gonna finish off some of these peasants as well. Another peasant gets taken down, perhaps taking down another unit here. Scout tower is about to be done. Skeletal minion could get taken down. There it goes, takes down another peasant there, as the skeletal minions are gonna end up, well, trying to put in a little bit more pressure. Meanwhile, the Archmage is simply going to ignore all of this, get to level 3, and pick up a Circlet of Nobility. Now, this game is a non-standard game, I would say. So far, Th000 has been playing away from the Undead while the Undead is trying to do harassment. With that said, the Archmage of Th000 already at level 3, he has set up he's already set up his expansion here, and the only thing that TBCBM can really do is really try and leverage his tech advantage. The Lich is going to be out onto the field here in just a moment. That Frost Nova does deal a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Water Elementals, 33 to 41 damage. So much damage here as the Death Knight may try and head back. Footmen with Defend are going to cause even more problems. Crypt Fiends need to try and get away. Let's take a look. Straight shot through the Footmen. Pretty much say, you know what, I'm going to try and engage in the middle portion of the map. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is in a lot of trouble, down to 119 hit points. He needs to get back on Blight, as there's going to be a fight here on Blight now. All right, Spirit Tower, a big deterrent in addition to the Halls of the Dead. The fact that Halls of the Dead is not upgrading to tier 3 is, well, says something to say about that, as a footman will get taken down. All right, Obsidian Statues will be joining in on the fight here in just a moment, and you're going to see some momentum swing the other way, as the first Obsidian Statue joining in onto that field is a very expensive Obsidian Statue. Considering you need to get to tier 2, you need to build the slaughterhouse, you need to get that obsidian statue out onto the field. It is very, very expensive, but every subsequent unit after that, is kind of cheaper. Economies of scale for any one of you who guys keep track of things like this. Meanwhile, Death Knight now looking to back away. Let's take a look. Arcane Tower putting in a lot of damage. We are also taking a look. Blacksmith has been taken down, and we're now going to try to put pressure onto this Arcane Tower here. Meanwhile, the skeletal minions are going to get taken down. Death Knight still has mana. How does it still have mana after all of this time? Skeletal minions trying to push on through. That is a lot of guard towers here. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is not protecting his base here, as the Scroll of the Beast, along with Footmen with Defend, diving on in. All right, ghouls are going to be joining in on the fight. Let's take a look. Death Knight wandering all the way back to try and offer a bit of protections. Obsidian Statues going to be offering a little bit of healing, as one Ziggurat will get taken out. There's still a Spirit Tower and a Halls of the Dead here. Another Ziggurat trying to get added, as the Death Knight could try and put in some pressure as well. All right, Death Knight now making its rounds back out. Acolytes, are they going to try and repair anything? That is the next big question here. A new Ziggurat could get taken out as well. Meanwhile, Death Coil saving some of those units. Ghouls going after targets. Death Knight sitting at level 2, getting very close to level 3. The Obsidian Statue, Crypt Fiends perhaps should be backing off here as well, as you're going to see some of these units just starting to fall left and right. Water Elemental gets taken down. However, no experience given, as it was taken down by towers, and that could potentially be an issue, as the Death Knight is going to be able to finish off more units. No, goes after and heals another unit. More Acolytes need to be trained right now. Gold perhaps is a problem, as we see back off to the north here. The Lich is out onto the field. Crypt Fiends able to put in a lot of pressure. A split action all across the map, as this Obsidian Statue has nowhere to run. Acolyte should be repairing this Obsidian Statue. Why isn't it? Down to 113, down to 94, down to 73, and it ends up staying alive. All right, Obsidian Statue in the back of the base ends up staying alive. Meanwhile, fight back off to the north here. Crypt Fiends could end up getting taken down. Let's take a look at this. Obsidian Statue doing a little bit of healing. This one Crypt Fiend down to 12 hit points. Stormbolt onto another unit there. Perhaps you're going to picked off one at a time. There goes another 2 footman. Archmage gets up to level 4. Lich gonna go ahead and use some extra damage here and perhaps start to focus back and finish off some more units. Why is the Lich not moving or even attacking this 1 footman as the Archmage falls at level 4? Death Knight shows up. Death Coil is a little bit late. Gonna go ahead and finish off another unit. Level 4 Archmage traded for a level 2 Lich. Skeletal Minion gonna back up. Death Knight sitting at 66 mana as both sides suffer horrible losses. Alright, main base. Not mining at full capacity. Expansion was lost. 34 supply compared to 23. We are going into castle now. Arcane Sanctum with a blacksmith. And there's just been this giant reset button being pressed. Alright, that obsidian statue perhaps should be heading back. Perhaps getting repaired back at home. And you can take a look. It is low on mana. And I don't believe we have any sign of, no sign of Destroyer form, as we are nowhere near getting Black Citadel even going. Obsidian statue sitting at 106 hit points, slowly climbing back up because of that unholy aura, giving natural health regeneration even to mechanical units. Nicely done there. Quick death coil finishes off a footman as it moves on its merry way again. Alright. Couple of easy units will get finished off. That obsidian statue perhaps just trying to back up, making sure not to take any real damage at all, as it wants to get into that, well, I gotta say, into that 250 hit point range, and it may be quite some time before it gets there. Death Knight Illusion chasing after the Mountain King. Mountain King sitting at level 2. Lich is getting resurrected nearly there. 31 supply over 40 as we are now going into Halls of the Dead. Alright, let's take a look. Obsidian statue up to 150 hit points. Units are moving around. Death Knight perhaps looking to get even more experience. Again, wants to pull some more units, but, well, quickly realizes maybe I bit off more than I can chew as the Mountain King now chases after all of this here. Alright, Illusion now making its way back around. Obsidian statue. Oh, we could see a Death Knight with a Death Coil there. Death Knight now putting pressure onto the Mountain King instead. Mountain King really probably wish he could Stormbolt that Obsidian statue, as we now see an Acolyte getting some repairs going on the Obsidian statue off to the side. Alright, Illusion Death Knight should really be scouting out where the Mountain King is. Archmage is back out onto the field. You're going to see the Lich sitting at level 2. Mantle of Intelligence +3 picked up by the Lich, +12 attack. Between those two items right there, and most likely an Orb of Corruption will be there to follow up momentarily. Tech to tier 3 about halfway done. Meanwhile, castle is already done, but I don't see any sign of what the castle could potentially be used for. Never mind, take it back. Paladin as the third hero, as Archmage Mountain King Paladin, the classic human tri-hero, going to be going up against the Lich and the Death Knight. We'll see if we see a third hero coming in from the Undead. Ogre Magi going to get taken down. Death Coil onto the Lich. Gets back up to full hit points. Obsidian statue already repaired back as well. We could be going into Destroyer form once the Halls of the Dead is done. Water Elemental will drop off significantly, but Th000 is actually in a good spot. He's going to get to level 3 on his Mountain King. Archmage is already at 4. Paladin may try to get to level 2 as well. Ring of Regeneration, a very big item for any sort of hero here, as the Mountain King going to finish off this Tuskar Sorcerer. Alright, Death Knight doing the same thing as well, finishing off the Tuskar Sorcerer. Death Knight gonna stay at level 4, I believe. Let's take a look at this. Is it gonna be enough? Be close. Yeah, not enough. 13 experience shy, as the Goblin Zeppelin now picks up a handful of units and is ready to move on out. Nothing happening there. Lich back at base. Orb of Corruption +17 damage. And where is that Lich gonna perhaps try and go? Goblin Zeppelin making its way back over. We see 2 guard or scout towers not upgraded at all, and this drop could potentially be deadly. The timing is going to be very, very critical. Flying Machine also overhead, perhaps expecting destroyers. Lich now trying to wander away. Skeletal Minion going to get taken down right there. Inner Fire has been used as well. Where is the drop? There you go. Dropping straight up onto the line now, as units are going to get finished off here. All right, there goes a Peasant. Death Knight gets to level 5, and all these units will be retreating. Trading of the Scroll of Town Portal, but getting to level 5 on the Death Knight, absolutely key. Lich now heading back close to 350 mana. Death Knight out onto the field. Pendant of Energy is currently available. Perhaps give the Pendant of Energy to the Lich as you try to get more mana onto that Death Knight, and then transfer it back for, well, better efficiency. Destroyer 1 now out into the air as well. Lich going out to engage. Let's take a look. Going to turn back around. We're going to see some battling now raging on through. Death Coil, Frost Nova onto the Mountain King. Mountain King quickly gets a Holy Light. Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich could be in trouble as the Orb of Fire is going to make it difficult for that Lich to try and get healed up quickly. Well, a 600 hit point heal down to 300, still very effective, as you can see that the Archmage can try and target different units, and it's really going to be down to the Death Knight to try and keep track of what units he needs to try and heal. Flying Machines coming back around, a quick web, as we're going to see it, one Flying Machine perhaps taken down. Oh, is it going to get taken down? Yes, there it goes. We see another 2 webs now come down. Crypt Fiend could be in trouble. Orb of Fire is on him. Going to try and get away, down to 125, 126 hit points. There's a Holy Light finishing it off as the Death Knight gets a Death Coil off onto the Destroyer. Destroyer staying alive ever so barely, and beautiful play by TBCBM to purposely try and, well, spread out these Flying Machines, being able to use web effectively and slowly but surely picking off some of these units. All right, Crypt Lord is now out. You saw the Impale go across multiple units here. Death Knight could be in trouble. Death Knight now needs to try and back away as well. No easy way for it to get healed. Back on Blight, better regeneration, better hit point regeneration. You can see Crypt Lord is currently out onto the field. The Crypt Lord should not be out here. Stormbolt, well, if the Mountain King had the mana, I'm sure it would have been in the possibility, as we're looking for the Crypt Lord to perhaps try and impale some units. There goes the Impale. Units are now back out onto the ground, forcing an engagement. Flying Machines trying to dive back around, as we see the Crypt Lord is once again out of mana. The Obsidian Statue in the back line, unable to give mana to that Crypt Lord that is in the front. Flying Machines trying to dive on in. However, it is going to both get taken down very quickly. Crypt Lord hit points getting focused, now being forced to retreat back. More web coming back in again as the Flying Machine just constantly getting stuck in position. Death Coil onto the Crypt Lord as a Crypt Fiend is sacrificed. Mountain King still wandering around back across here, as we're going to see some Flying Machines getting slowly picked apart again. All right, there goes another Crypt Fiend. All right, who's winning out in this fight here? We could be looking at another death of a Footman. There it goes. Crypt Lord trying to chase after the units. I don't see any there's the Obsidian Statue right now. Stormbolt onto what? There's a Death Coil saving a Destroyer. Units are now trying to engage again. Another Flying Machine going to get taken out as the Destroyer down to 336 hit points needs to get back and get away. Death Knight is going to be able to get a Death Coil onto the precious Destroyer. That is the question. I do believe he will be trying to do that here in just a moment. Currently low on mana. And let's take a look at this. Is he going to Death Coil that Lich? I do believe so. There is the negative armor again, as the Obsidian Statue is just doing its thing, trying to maintain mana across all of these units here. All right, aggroing those creeps. It's going to be a 2-on-1 fight here in just a moment. Destroyer down to 392 some odd hit points. Death Knight, there's the engagement, trying to finish off a easy couple of units. Meanwhile, the Death Knight cannot gain any experience from this creep camp. Archmage is still there, dancing back and forth. Flying Machines are just flanking, and the positioning of Th000 so calculated to try and engage with the entire army at once without getting these units webbed down in an uncomfortable spot. Destroyer down to 242 hit points, quickly gets healed back up, gets Stormbolted for its efforts though, as the couple of quick webs bringing down the units once more. 4 Crypt Fiends. Are we going to see some more attacks, more webs coming across here? There goes the Destroyer. Destroyer down to, 483 hit points, needs to pull back. Crypt Lord does not have enough mana still. Very low on mana indeed, as the Destroyer tried to devour magic and get some of that water elemental into its belly. Elemental is now looking to pull back again. Are we going to see a little bit of a chase here? Death Knight with Unholy Aura does allow for faster chasing. Add in Frost Nova for the slow, and that could be a problem. Riflemen, however, are starting to get massed in numbers. Riflemen able to pick off those Destroyers while they're in the air. Meanwhile, one Water Elemental is going to make its way down to this Haunted Gold Mine, try to go after this Haunted Gold Mine, but I believe it is already well timed. Flying Machines, Destroyers coming back the other side. No easy retreat whatsoever. Where are the Flying Machines? The Flying Machines are in the back across here, and there is no engagement. Thank you, Emmanuel, for the subscription. I'm not even streaming on Twitch, that could just be a Twitch subscription or a YouTube subscription. Thanks for either. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and engage right across here. Destroyer going to make its way inside. These towers not upgraded to anything, as we are going to see the Death Knight in position here, try to go after some of these units. All right, going after unit here. Peasants are just going to end up getting taken down very easily and quickly. We could see a couple of webs. Yeah, web onto some of those flying machines. Flying machines now getting taken out. Death Knight, Destroyer in the backfield. Death Coil quickly heals up the unit again, as the flying machines are just all in the wrong spot. All right, Mountain King. And this is a beautiful idea by TBCBM, making it so that the Archmage cannot get into a good position to try and shut down the Death Coils. The Death Coils have been monstrous in heals, but the Archmage has not been able to freely hit the targets that it needs to. And with that, with this engagement in the home field of Th000, TBCBM may actually come away with the victory. Death Coil once again heals up the Destroyer. More battling underway. There goes one Crypt Fiend now that the Archmage is ready to actually engage in this fight. 46 compared to 58. Who is going to come out ahead? Crypt Lord is still causing major problems. There's a Holy Light, though, as the Destroyers are now coming back out to fight and play. All right, Crypt Fiend trying to get away. Orb of Fire causing major havoc. There's level 3 now onto the Paladin as the Archmage gets taken down. All of the support was lost, and TBCBM with the comeback. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.